Morning out of two. So I've got a 2004 Toyota Tundra 4.7 liter engine here, and it needs an engine repair, and it's a really good one for you guys. Um, when we did the leakage test on this engine, we noticed that the spark plugs, and I'll show you right here, the spark plugs had all kinds of oil on them. They were just doused in oil, like this one right here. And when you unthread them, they just came out just coated in oil. And the coils were too. Now they're not so oily anymore because I've wiped them off, but you can see the discoloration. That one's kind of brown. This one's kind of blackish. Believe it or not, it's the brown ones that are soaked with oil. These two are soaked here and over here. And what will happen is eventually you'll get misfire down inside the cylinders. So down inside where the spark plugs are around the cylinders. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the valve covers and change what's called the spark plug tube seals, or spark plug well tube seals. They're an O-ring right around here. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let me set the camera up here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'll come a little closer like this. And I'm going to take my battery operated ratchet and get this guy right there so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and take my battery operated ratchet here with a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension, and those valve cover bolts are 10 millimeters, so I'm going to get a 10 millimeter heat socket, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to switch this to counterclockwise, loosening, and buzz these off. Pull that bolt down. I'm just going to go around and get these guys all off. Grab those guys out of there. Maybe I'll pull this around over here, just a little more direct view of what I'm doing. So I've got this PCV hose I'm going to pull off over here. I've got those coil connectors all unplugged. So I'm going to, and these bolts that I've been setting here, I should be a little more careful and put them in my bucket here. So I'll go ahead and drop them in my bucket. And you can see me buzzing off these valve cover bolts. And again, I'll come over here, get a little more direct view of it. And you'll notice it just takes me a few minutes, not a real big deal. Doesn't take too long to get these off. Now, down here at the end, I think I just had that one bolt there. These 2, 4, 6, 8. So it looks like I got it. So I'm going to have to take a pry bar that I brought over here and go ahead and give this a little pry. It looks like it's coming right off. There it goes. And go ahead and pull that guy out of there. Okay, so let's look at this thing for a moment. Bring the camera down closer. So first, just looking at the color of the cams, it looks really good. There's a little bit of brownish deposits on the cam caps, but the cams look good, and down inside the cylinder head it looks good. So that means to me that whoever had this thing, if I can get the camera to focus, come on, focus, dude, there you go, change the oil so that it looks like it's in pretty good shape. And then look at the valve cover. It's not in too bad a shape, a little bit of deposits, but these are the rubber seals here that we're going to replace, these well tube seals here and here. So the PCV system comes in, there's a baffle here. I can clean this in the smart washer, which I will do and show you how, but if I'm going to clean that in the smart washer, I got to be really sure to get all the smart washer juice out from underneath this baffle. So we've got a gasket here, and I'll set the camera down So I can use my other hand. Let's get it like that. And actually, let's do this. Let's pause there for a moment. All right, so what I did was I pulled the valve cover off over here on the passenger side of the car, passenger side of the engine. And you can see again, this valve cover is actually even cleaner than the other one. When I look underneath the cylinder head, cams look really clean. And I get a look at the cam gears there. And again, I would have to say that whoever had this engine definitely changed the oil reasonably well. I don't see any appreciable wear on anything. One thing I am going to do while I'm cleaning the valve covers is to lay rags on top of the, over the top of the, let me put this over here, over the top of the cylinder heads so no garbage falls in there. So I'll take a rag and what I'll do is just go ahead and lay it in here so no dust or dirt gets inside here while I've got the valve cover off, just because air's been smoky lately and lots of ash in the air. So I'll go ahead and I always take my rags and I always shake them out. Just give them a shake before I put them over the top of an engine, just so something doesn't come off the rag and go in there. And okay, so I got those covered. So I'll be right back with you. All right, here we are with the two valve covers. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pry these valve cover gaskets out. Looks like that one came right out. And these are pretty soft, so that's a good sign, meaning you don't want them to be all hard and brittle, because if they were really hard and brittle, that would tell you that the engine has been hot, and gaskets will get very hard and brittle because of heat. It's not necessarily so much that it's not reasonably common, but it does happen as a matter of course. But it's kind of nice to see that they're soft. So I'm going to move you over here to the smart washer. And at the smart washer, I'm going to show you how we're going to clean these up. So we'll bring these guys over. And really, I should probably pull these seals out first. So let me pause and show you how to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is how to take these seals out. I've taken one out here. I got another one. I did one just to kind of make sure I know what to do. If I grab this seal with these channel locks and sort of pull out, I'm just going to tear the rubber part of the seal out, but I didn't get the rest of the seal out. So if I take this chisel, call it a cape chisel, kind of a curved end, I know it's a little bit funky to see there, and I catch the edge of the metal seal like this, and I did get it. So now I've got it, if you can see here, I've sort of, you can see it right there, huh? I bent it over, and I'm going to grab that with the channel locks. So I'm going to reach down in there, grab that piece of metal. I know I'm blocking you a little bit with my camera, but it's a little tough to grab. Okay, I need to knock it out a little further. I'm having a little trouble getting it all the way where I can grab it. There we go. So I can actually probably put this screwdriver behind and just pop this out just about. Let me see if I can do it so you can see it. Yep, there it goes. There it is. So it just popped out, and there's the seal all deformed, etc. And you can see I got it out of there. So I got those two out. I'll show you one more. Again, we're going to take this punch and that one came a little easier. And maybe I can get my screwdriver in there. I know it's a little tough, so I might be able to grab it. Let's try. Grab the seal out of there so it's just out of the way. And now I'll try and grab the metal. See if I can. I'm going to have to punch a little more of it out of there. And again, I know it's a little tough for you to see. But you can see what I'm going to grab right there. I'm going to grab that guy right there. My channel locks. Let me try this guy here and see if it's going to work. Yep, screwdriver seems to be working better than anything else so far. There it goes. Pop it out. There's the next one. See, I got 3 of them out. I'll go ahead and get them all out and show you what's next. Out of 2, here we go. We've got this 4.7 liter valve cover in the smart washer here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to scrub it up using the smart washer. This is our parts washer. It just does a great job. So I can use the brush, and I'll use this guy. We'll just soak this baby, scrub dub, and we'll go at it back and forth like this on all sides. And clean. It takes a little while, to get it all really clean. And we want to get this thing clean underneath this plate, which is the PCV plate. And I'll even take this steel brush and go around the edges. And that'll get all the garbage off the edges. So we're going to get this channel where the gasket goes cleaned out. And we're going to go down in here and clean where the seals sit. Right there. Right there. Right there. I'll turn it off and turn it over and scrub the other side. I'm trying to make the other side more nay. I'm just trying to make this side look pretty. And I'll try using that brush in a moment, the steel brush, just to see how it does on here. This thing's got like a lot of oxidation. It's scuffing a little bit. Not that much. It looks a little better. It's taking some of it off, but I'd really have to go after it if I wanted to get it looking really pretty. And quite frankly, I don't want to spend that time to get it that pretty. It's just a valve cover. But I am getting this thing scrubbed up. Trying to do my best with it. Again, I could probably spend a long time working to get this thing cleaned up really good. And I don't think I'm going to spend that much time. But what I am going to be concerned about is going down through the PCV system. So that goes through the PCV right there. So that's like draining down behind the PCV, positive crankcase ventilation. It's coming out over here. It's coming down over here. So I'm going to let that flush through for a little bit, and then we'll continue here in just a moment. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take this valve cover, put it here in the sink, because we got to get all that Aussie juice out of it. And there's a lot behind that plate. And you can see it really cleaned it up. Yeah, there's a couple of spots that I could hit right there. Toothbrush to see if I can get that spot off. It looks like it's going to come off. See if there's a little more cleaning I can do in here. And again, if you want to spend more time, you can get it quite a bit cleaner. Just depends on how much time you want to spend. I want to get it clean up that it looks clean. I didn't take my little brush here and just give it a little bit of mechanical cleaning. Does anything more. Put my brush aside. And I'm going to continue to wash this guy out. And go through there, and you should see all kinds of brown goop come out of there. Yeah, it's coming. So what really looks good is if I grab the hose over here. So let me do that. So I just grab the hose. And just going to flush through here. And go through that hole there. Try and flush everything out. Until I see the water go completely clean, which just about is there now. This side. Okay, let's do this guy one more time. Okay, so I'll go ahead like that, rinse it off like that. Now I'm just going to go take it outside and let it sit in the sun and dry off and let the water just come out of it all the way. I'll get it this way and that way, and the water's still coming out of there. And the water's coming out of there. Okay, I'm going to go put it out in the sun. We'll continue from there. All right, so here we are, guys. The valve covers are nice and clean, as you can see. They look beautiful. And we're going to put these new seals in. You need to pay attention to the correct direction. And these are going to go like this, down in there like that, like that, like that, and like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend these little tabs up to be able to get the grommets in there. And so I'm just bending them up like that. And I think what I'll do is try putting the camera right there. So let me bring it down there. You can see a little bit better. Hopefully I can get my cord unstuck, which doesn't look like I can. There you go. Hopefully you can see a little better. And so I'm just prying these back. And I'm going up with them like that. Doing this last one. And then I'm going to take this guy, I'll spit on it a little bit and go, ew, that's yucky. And then I'll put it in there and it'll slide down in. And it's a little high in this corner, so if I take this brass punch and just hit it just on the edge of that metal piece of the seal, should be able to get it all the way flush. Get this one, spit on this one a little bit. Ew, yuck. Yeah, knock it down in there like that. Just make sure you don't go crazy with the punch and hurt hurt the grommet. Just want to get it all the way seated down in there. Get this one all slathered up. Ooh, yuck. Okay. Then take this one. Just gotta be kind of careful that I'm getting it right on the edge, so I'm not gonna hurt the seal. And one more. Ooh, yuck. Put this last one in. I'm gonna bend that back a little bit. Put it in there. The hammer. And my camera fell. Sorry. There you are again. Okay, so now I got them all in there. Now I'm going to knock these, tap these metal pieces down. I'm going to try and hold the camera so it doesn't go off on this. Those will just keep the seals from coming out of there. Here we go. So now they look, as you can tell, they look really pretty. I don't know why the camera's doing that. Sorry. But looks really, really pretty. This is a brand new camera and it's a little bit different than I'm used to, so I'll have to get used to it. So, all right. So those are ready to go back on, except now I got to put the gasket back in. So you'll see me tuck this gasket in its spot. You want to work it all the way in, all around. It doesn't need any sealer. O-ring gaskets do not need any sealer. And most people don't want you to put seal on them anyways because they'll end up squishing out. So I'm getting them in there, pushing them down, and all the way seated, all the way around. Take my time. Really make sure it's in there. This one all the way down. So it isn't all the way down there yet. Okay. Then we'll get ready to put these guys on. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put these valve covers on. So I'm going to take some Chem Tool and rag, and I'm going to spray it on in here. And I'm going to clean up this valve cover. It's pretty dirty. So this might take me a little bit. There's a little bit of sealer back there, which there should be. And I'll show you where we're going to put that back on when we go together. Right now, we're just going to get this thing all cleaned up. And you can see that it is cleaning it, albeit it's pretty dirty. Where the valve cover sat. I'm going to keep cleaning this up. And I'm going to go get a little scraper and I'll show it to you one sec here. So this is a little razor blade holder. And sometimes I like to just drag them backwards because they kind of dig in if you go forward. So sometimes I just drag it backwards. It does a really good job cleaning it up. You don't want the scrapes and stuff to go into the cylinder head, so when I do the top there, I'll probably tuck a rag up in there. And this is where you just got to take some time, do it right. This is where everybody wants to hurry because they're all excited. Put it back together. But this is where you don't want to hurry. So I got it clean enough for me to scrape. I'm going to take my nice rags and stick it up here to try to keep stuff from falling in as I clean the top of that. And we're going to clean it up little by little. Try and get it all squared away. It's getting there. Not 100%, getting there. So I'm going to pause our video here for just a moment. So you can look at it and you can see, and I got it all clean down in here, and all clean up in there and all the way around. We have to put sealer down here. I'm going to clean that corner just a little bit better right up in there. Then we have to put sealer on these two guys, in this corner and this corner. So let me get a screwdriver and get ready to do that. One more sec here. All right, with this screwdriver and the rag and little chem tool, I just got right in there, and it's all nice and clean. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Toyota sealer. It's a factory Toyota sealer, real expensive. I'm going to take a nice big blob and put it right there in the corner where that guy hits, right there in the corner where that guy hits. And then we're going to put some here and some here. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, I guess you can. So we got to put some sealer over those parting lines right there and there. Okay, I'll put the cap back on. That guy's ready to go on. And what I'll try to do sometimes is some lubricant. I've got to clean one thing, the well tubes themselves where the seals come down over. So I want to get these nice and clean so when the new seals go on them, they don't get marred. So I'm going to spray each of these. Clean them off. Funny sounds. There's like one of those squirrels out there. I hear chirping. Okay, so get this guy all cleaned up. And then we'll clean this guy all up. Because that's where those new well tube seals are going to ride on. Now we want to make sure they're nice and clean and smooth. So I'm going to check it. Okay. All right. So those valve covers are ready to go on. I'm going to go grab some lubricant. So I'm going to use some Vaseline, which is made of oil. So I just put some just around the outside, just so the seal wants to slide right on there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and clean this guy off. My hands off. Gloves got a little hole in them. Those are down, and we are ready to go on. Gotta make sure that I get it. This is the correct side. I know that. I want to make sure that I get. So now I'm going to push these guys in. They just went right over. That was great. Vaseline helps. So I like to use a speed handle to start them because then I can know that I didn't cross thread anything because I'm not starting, with something. So that might get it cross threaded. So I'm going to go ahead and get these guys all started in there. Just start them all. Don't tighten anything down. They do have to be torqued. And that one's not wanting to start in, so we might have to kind of realign this thing a little bit. And that one's not going in. So it's nice and straight, so there's no reason. It might be that bolt. We'll just go ahead and leave that bolt aside for a second and try another one. Because the hole is lined up nice and straight. That one went right in. So we'll assume the front thread on that one's a little wonky. And that one's going right in. And then go down the line here and get them all tightened up. And as we tighten them, this one's not wanting to start for whatever reason, and the hole is perfectly lined up. So I don't know what the deal is there, but we'll try a different one. See if we can get it started. Okay, for whatever reason that one doesn't want to start, which is pretty normal that things don't go the way you want them to go. So we're going to have to play around with the cover because they are not going in now. That was going in now. I have to just push hard. Probably blocking your view with my head there. Okay, I'm having a little trouble getting these lined up to start. That one does not want to start. I'm going to try another one. That bolt is not going in, so we're going to try a different one. See if we can get it go. Why some don't want to go. Okay, so let me fight with this for a moment. Okay, I realized why I was having trouble, and I learned something as I was starting to get frustrated, and that is that you see the difference between this one and this one. This one the washer's down further, and it was holding it so the threads weren't catching. This one the washer's up further, so it would catch. So you've got to get them to where they want to catch. So I'm going to go ahead and thread these guys down. And usually I'll tighten them up from the center out, which I already tightened these a little bit, so give them a little more. And we'll get the torque wrench here. And it's supposed to be 53 inch-pounds. That's already hitting, but I don't think they're all the way seated, so I think we gotta seat them first. So I'm gonna seat them and back them off. 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 And those two are torqued. That was torqued. That was torqued. That was torqued. That one's torqued. So I have to do them again. sure they're all there. You can hear the click of the torque wrench. And I'd already put new plugs in. So now I'm ready to drop my coils back in and be done, huh? There's one. Each have a seal. There's the other one. There's another one. And there's the final one there. Get my bolts. These you can torque, but if you use that speed handle, you don't really need to use a torque wrench because there's no way you're going to over tighten it with the speed handle. So that's one of the reasons why I like it, because it kind of protects me from getting too aggressive on it. Just give it a snug. And again, I did already put the plugs in and tighten them up. Last one. And so we should be able to plug these guys back in. These in, and I'll go ahead and put a rag in there for now. That's where the filler neck goes. All right, there we go. Awesome. We're all done. Good. We'll do the other side, but I won't take any more of your time to do that. Okay. So let me see if I can shut this thing off.